Welcome back to SpeakCast English, your daily English listening practice podcast. I'm Andrew, and as always, I'm joined by the wonderful Emma.
Hi, everyone. So glad to be here and learning with all of you. Andrew, I have to tell you, I had the most awkward experience last week.
Oh no, Emma, don't tell me it involves a barista messing up your coffee order again. My perfect morning coffee is a very serious business, you know?
No, not coffee, though that is a serious business for you. This was much worse. I went to get a haircut, and let's just say the haircut I got was not what I asked for.
We've all been there. That sinking feeling when you look in the mirror and think, what have they done?
Exactly. I showed the stylist a photo, explained what I wanted, or so I thought. But then, when it was done, it was completely different, and I just froze. I didn't know what to say.
That's a perfect topic for today, Emma. Many of our Vietnamese learners tell us they struggle with this exact situation. It's tough to correct someone, especially a service professional, in English without sounding rude.
It really is. I just smiled and paid and then went home to wear a hat for a week.
Well, by the end of this episode, listeners, you'll know exactly how to politely explain what you want at a salon, reference a photo, and even kindly say if something isn't quite right. We'll give you 3 practical phrases you can use right away.
Oh, I desperately need these. My hair is still recovering.
So, Emma, you mentioned you showed a photo. That's a great first step. A picture is worth 1,000 words, right? It really helps to give a clear visual.
It does. I thought I was clear. I had this perfect photo on my phone, a celebrity with exactly the bob I wanted.
And what did you say when you showed it?
I think I said, I want this one, like this, and pointed.
Okay, I want this one is direct, but sometimes it can feel a little abrupt, especially in a service setting. We want to be clear, but also polite.
Abrupt? Like I'm giving an order? Oh, I didn't mean it that way.
Not at all. But imagine if you were a stylist. Someone just points and says, I want this. It leaves less room for discussion or clarification. A slightly softer approach can make a big difference.
So what should I have said instead?
When you're showing a photo, a really useful phrase is, I'm looking for something like this.
I'm looking for something like this? That sounds much better. It's less demanding.
Exactly. It opens the conversation. You're showing your preference, not giving an instruction that can't be discussed. It implies, can you do this? Is this possible?
So I could have said, hi, I'm looking for something like this, and then shown the photo.
Perfect, Emma. That's a great start. It sets a collaborative tone, and it works for more than just haircuts. If you're shopping for clothes and see a style you like, you could say, I'm looking for something like this, and show an image.
Ah, I see. My common mistake is probably being too direct, thinking it's clearer, but it can sound a bit blunt.
Yes, sometimes in English, directness can be perceived as less polite than you intend. Adding phrases like, I'm looking for, or I was hoping for, softens the request.
Okay, so I used I'm looking for something like this, and I showed the photo. The stylist starts cutting. Then, it's getting shorter than I wanted, but I'm too shy to say anything. I just sit there, frozen.
That's very common. You don't want to hurt their feelings or make them angry. You're walking on eggshells a bit. But it's better to speak up early. What if you notice it's just a little bit off?
Like, maybe they cut one side a bit shorter, or the layers are too high. How do I say stop? That's wrong. Politely? Because I just want to say, that's wrong.
Chuckles softly. We definitely want to avoid, stop, that's wrong. A good phrase for when something is asterisk slightly off, and you want a small adjustment is, could you trim it just a little bit?
Could you trim it just a little bit? Trim, not cut.
Yes, trim implies taking off a small amount, making it neater or slightly shorter. Cut can mean a more significant change. And just a little bit is key here. It shows you're not asking for a complete redo, just a minor adjustment.
So if they're cutting the fringe and it looks too long, I could say, excuse me, could you trim it just a little bit more?
Exactly. Or if it's already shorter than you like, but maybe one part is still a bit long, you could say, could you trim this part just a little bit, pointing to the specific area.
That's so helpful. My mistake would be to say, it's too long here, which sounds like a complaint, not a request for a solution. Or I just stay quiet and pretend it's fine.
Many Vietnamese learners tend to be very polite and avoid confrontation, which is admirable, but sometimes it means they don't get what they need. This phrase allows you to be polite, but also clear about a small adjustment.
Okay, I'm looking for something like this, then could you trim it just a little bit? I'm feeling more confident already.
Great! Now, Emma, what if the haircut is done and it's asterisk really not what you wanted? Like, completely different from the photo. You're past the trim a little stage. This is the moment you feared.
Oh, this is the exact situation I was in. It was completely wrong. I wanted a bob, and I got, well, let's just say it was not a bob. I was completely lost for words. I just paid and left.
That's so tough. It's hard to say, this is not what I asked for, because it sounds accusatory. You don't want to make the stylist feel bad, but you also want them to understand.
Yes, I don't want to say, you did it wrong, or this is not correct, because that feels so rude, but it wasn't correct.
The perfect phrase for this situation, when it's significantly different but you want to be polite, is, I was hoping for something a bit different.
I was hoping for something a bit different. Wow, that's so gentle.
It is. It expresses your disappointment without directly blaming the stylist. You're focusing on your expectation rather than their perceived mistake. It also opens the door for them to ask, oh, what were you hoping for? Or, how can we fix this?
So after they finished and asked, how do you like it? I could have taken a deep breath and said, well, it's nice, but I was hoping for something a bit different.
Exactly, Emma. You can even follow up with, I was hoping it would be more like the photo we discussed. This reminds them of your initial request without being harsh.
My common mistake here would be to say, this is not the same as the picture, which again is true, but it sounds like I'm criticizing their work.
Right. I was hoping for something a bit different conveys the same message but with a softer, more understanding tone. It allows them to save face while still addressing your concern. It's about finding a solution together.
This is a huge aha moment for me. I always struggle with how to give negative feedback in English without sounding aggressive. This phrase is perfect.
It really is a versatile phrase for many situations where expectations aren't met. Not just haircuts. If you order food and it's not quite what you expected, you could say, this is good, but I was hoping for something a bit different.
So, to recap, if I want to show a photo, I say, I'm looking for something like this. If it's a small adjustment, could you trim it just a little bit? And if it's really not what I wanted, I was hoping for something a bit different.
You've got it, Emma. You see how these phrases allow you to communicate clearly and politely, even in awkward situations. It's about being assertive without being aggressive.
Yes, I feel like I've gained superpowers for my next salon visit. No more hat wearing for a week.
Good. Now let's practice these a little bit. This is where we'll do some shadowing. Remember, listeners, shadowing means repeating after us to practice your pronunciation and rhythm.
Get ready to speak, everyone.
I'll say the phrase slowly first, then at a natural speed. Try to match my intonation. First phrase, I'm looking for something like this. Slow. I'm looking for something like this. Natural.
That looking for something like this flows really well. Make sure to connect the words, especially looking for and something like.
Great tip, Emma. Next one. When you need a small adjustment. Could you trim it just a little bit? Slow. Could you trim it just a little bit? Natural.
The just a little bit part is important. Emphasize little to show you're not asking for a big change.
Excellent observation. And finally, for those moments when it's just not what you wanted. I was hoping for something a bit different. Slow. I was hoping for something a bit different. Natural.
This one feels a bit longer, so practice saying it smoothly. The hoping for something part, make sure it connects. It gives it a gentle, almost regretful tone, which is perfect for being polite.
Fantastic, Emma. Your tips are always so helpful for our listeners. These phrases are not just about haircuts. They're about polite communication in everyday life.
I can totally use I was hoping for something a bit different when Andrew tries to give me decaf coffee.
Gasps playfully. Never! My coffee rituals are sacred. But you're right, it's very versatile.
So listeners, we hope these phrases help you feel more confident next time you're trying to explain exactly what you want or politely correct something, especially in a salon.
Remember, clear and polite communication is key. Don't be afraid to speak up, but use these phrases to do it kindly.
That's our lesson for today. We covered how to reference a photo, ask for a small adjustment, and politely say when something is really not what you wanted.
Now for our comment challenge. We want to hear from you. Have you ever had a haircut that was not what you asked for? Or a similar situation where you wished you knew what to say? Use one of today's phrases to describe what happened or what you would say next time.
We love reading your comments and seeing you practice.
Please like this video if you found it helpful.
Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our daily English listening practice episodes.
And leave a comment with your favorite phrase from today's lesson.
Bye, everyone. Keep practicing.
Before we finish, let's do a quick recap of today's main ideas and the most useful phrases.
Pick one or two expressions and try them in real life today, even in a very short conversation.
Thank you for listening today. We hope this episode helped you practice real English. You've been listening to SpeakCast English. Thanks for practicing with us, and see you next time on SpeakCast English.